all artists need great social media content for their platform pages. We get this, we understand. But the problem is a lot of things that stand in the way are just these overwhelming amount of opinions on what artists should do to create content for their pages. All the while inside with the artist, they're like, well, man, like, I don't know what to create. And then I don't know how to create it. Like of course there's no school for this. Technology doesn't provide a school for its advancements. We get this, but you can't sit around like it's 2001 and think, oh, maybe I could just slip by. I could be that artist that doesn't do social media content. And then I pop and then I blow and I just get the attention that I want. And ever since Soulja Boy came through in 2005 and just blew the doors down with Crank That and all that stuff and all the stuff he was doing on YouTube, we've been neck and knee deep since 2005 and 2010. So there's no reason for you not to create it. It is part of the ecosystem and is actually, I'd say, necessary until you can slip by and reduce the amount that you put out. Now, artists shouldn't be confused by this stuff because really all they have to do is be themselves. But it seems in today's day and age, the hardest thing for artists to do is to actually be themselves. And the what that they need to create is actually pretty easy. And that will help you handle the how you need to create it. All right, so we're going to jump into that on today's episode of the Music Money Makeover Show. Everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham. We're going to hop right in with this. We're going to talk about the what that you need to create with your social media content, okay? And it's very, very simple. In fact, you'll find that it hasn't really changed since it begun. These are some very basic principles that fans want to see. This is not coming from some type of get rich quick type of content strategy that you can do and we can all be successful tomorrow, even though you will have it happen this way. You'll find that the principles that I'm going to give you in 2 seconds has never really changed. Check it out. First off, we got to start with the product itself. Music, the music videos, the audio videos, whatever you do, whatever content you make based around the music, that has to be fire. It has to be pure. It cannot be cut, because if it's cut product and people start to consume it and they say, it's all right, there's nothing really special about it, then they're not going to be eager to tell somebody about this. So we want our product, our base product, our loss leader base product to be so good that someone has to tell somebody else about what they just heard before they know anything about you. Because we're going to get to that in a minute. But the original product has to be good without a shadow of a doubt. I can't say, it's cool, it's straight. Because if I got to say that as a consumer, I'm talking to you. As a consumer, if I have to say that, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm not going to tell anybody. The delivery of the musical product through social media has to be dope, i.e. the visuals. I don't care if you shoot it with an iPhone, one of these cameras in this shot, right? It doesn't matter. You be creative. You do what you have to do to make the musical content dope. Then we can move on to level 2. Now, level 2, you've heard this for so many years now. Document the process. Document as much as you can without overwhelming yourself and spilling all of your trade secrets. What I mean is like, the secret sauce that you got going on. Showcase yourself making music. Show us your process. Because after we got past level 1 with all of this dope music content right here, now the consumer's like, man, I'm super invested. Your music is touching my soul right now. Now I want to know more about you. How did you do this? Right? And that's what we want to see next. How did you do this? And who are you? And you got to document this without overwhelming yourself, because remember, when you're just getting started, you don't have a whole team. You probably just got a producer, a cell phone. You might have a manager, but that's it. And you're going to pop the cell phone up. You're going to capture some stuff, and that's your camera. No, nothing fancy. No, hoops to jump through to learn how to use some equipment. Document the process, shoot it, post it. Tell us about how you created this stuff right here. Tell us about some other things that you got going on so we can know more about you. Who are you? Where are you from? You know what I mean? Because once we start to get a little bit of behind the scenes information, then we're going to go to level 3. And that's this. This is one of the most important steps right here, is your vision. Level 3 content, the journey. Give fans a vision of where you're going. In order for the people to become followers of yours, you have to take them somewhere. Tell us or show us your public goals so we as fans can support you. Fans follow. Therefore, give them a reason to follow you. If you're not going anywhere, how can we follow you anywhere? I'm going to say it again. If you're not going anywhere, how can we follow you anywhere? See, I see a lot of artists on TikTok right now. They're making amazing music content. Okay? They're back here. They're making amazing music content on the daily. But then I don't get to know how you made it. You also don't tell me who you are. And finally, you definitely don't tell me where you're trying to go. Or I can't see that you're growing. So a lot of times if you don't say, hey, look, man, I'm trying to make it here. You don't always have to tell people your goals. I'm trying to make it here, because a lot of times you probably don't want to tell people your goals, but it is helpful, right? But at the same time, if I, as a fan, don't feel like you're consistently working by way of me actually seeing the documented process, because I know you got dope music, but the only way as a fan that I know that you're doing something is if you document the process, and I can open up my phone and the first thing I see is you, right? When I open up my phone, the first thing I see is your documented process. I know you working. And so that makes me want to go continue listen to your music. And then eventually you'll say, hey, man, we got a new project coming out. Oh, I knew it was coming out. I saw the studio photos. I saw all that stuff going on. When I saw all that stuff, I'm like, oh, there's a goal. So now I'm invested in your story. You just gave me a vision of where you're going. Guess what? I'm a follower of you. So I'm going to follow you to your goal of releasing that next album. And that's how the fans stick around. That's how your content is made. This is the type of content as a music artist. It might not work for any other type of content creator, but for music artists, this is how it works. And it's always worked this way. It has always worked this way. You just have to go back in history and see. But after we get this vision and we get this goal, then we got to go to level 4. Because now you got to show us your wins. So if this was the album right here, then we have to make it there. And then whenever you put points on that board, let us know. Because that makes fans celebrate you that much more. So if you get to a certain amount of streams, tell us, hey, man, we made it to 1 million streams. Thank you. You know what I mean? Oh, I got this particular local award or something like that, man. I appreciate y'all. Or I got this brand endorsement deal. I mean, I really appreciate. Look, this is what I've been doing. I've achieved this. I've achieved that. And that makes us say, okay, yeah, and we're cheering you on. You get what I'm saying? So this ain't going to be everyday content, but this is going to be that checkpoint type of content that we want to see as fans, because that means that the person that we're following is doing it and they're winning. You get what I'm saying? And we want to be a part of their cool club, their fan club, because they're winning. They're not just sitting on the sidelines. They're not at level 1 just making music content and putting it out. Because after a while, the music content begins to get old. And it's like, all right, we know you make music, man, but what you doing? Like, what? I want to know more. Like, where you going with this thing? I want to know more about you. I want to know where you're going. Tell me if you did something, if you achieved something. You get what I'm saying? Because once you show the wins, then we got to go and tell the backstory. Tell us how you got to where you are. This one right here is best saved for later when you get some buzz going or after the achievement. Now, you may not share everything while you're in the process, but it's important to give a recap after the win, like a highlight reel. So even if the album comes out, right, and you're going to go back and say, remember this from past documented pieces of content that you released, or you're going to have like some type of confessional and you're going to sit down and say, man, we really work hard. This my guy right over here, Nook and them. And they helped out on the joint, and then we mixed it, and it was just, you know what I mean? And it was crazy, man. I remember, it was about 11 o'clock at night, you know what I'm saying? We came through. We didn't get out till like 4 in the morning, but it was popping, and that's how we made that song. And then you see how I'm invested. I'm invested as a fan now, because now it's like, oh man, that's where the inspiration for that song came from. This is crazy. I'm enjoying this. So now I got so much now to inspire me as a fan. I got so much to tell other people about how great you are. You know what I mean? So people can say, oh, yo, this is incredible, right? And secondly, go way back to before you started, when you get further along in your journey. Because now you can tell the real backstory. Yo, back in high school, I was yada, da, 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 da. And then I said, I'm ready to start this musical journey. You get what I mean? And that's how it goes right there. That's really how it goes. Because now what it's going to take is consistency. And this is where a lot of you all struggle. You don't struggle right here. Nobody really struggles in the studio like that, because it's kind of closed off. We good at level 1. We get all the way up through level 5, and we got to work on consistency. By the time you get to level 5, you better be consistent, because that's the only way it's going to work. Consistency. Find out where you're having trouble with consistency if this is an issue for you. Is the problem posting? Well, find an automation tool. Is the problem editing? Find an easier way to create with less editing. See what I'm saying? Is the problem ideas? Use Google and Chat GPT for ideas. You know what I mean? Technology is there to help you out. Is the problem motivation? Take some time to figure if you really want to do what you're doing. Because a lot of times for musicians, if you're not motivated to do this, chances are you're not doing something correctly, or you're not supposed to be doing this at all. You may be involved with music, but you're just to the left of where you're supposed to be, and you got to turn it around. Because you might not be a stage artist. You might be an artist that strictly focuses on sync. You might be the artist that just strictly focuses on writing music for digital content. You know what I mean? Or you might just be the songwriter. Or you might just be a producer. Like, you know what I mean? So you might still do things musically, but you might not be that forefront artist. So if there's a motivation problem, you got to figure out what that is. Posting issues, editing issues, idea issues, motivation issues are the top 4 issues that people have with consistency. So if you got a problem in any one of these areas, figure it out, figure out a solution, fix it, so that we can start to level up our content. Get what I'm saying? Now, engagement. This is the next thing. Liking and commenting. And if you can't comment, like. Because liking still goes a long way. Engagement makes fans feel special. So even if you can't comment on a fan's comment, just by you hitting the like button makes them feel special. Like, oh man, he actually acknowledged it. Or she actually acknowledged it. She read it. He read it. That's dope, man. That gives me a little bit of push for my day as a fan. So I can follow you and tell more people about you even more. You get what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I want you to start documenting this content, no matter how good it looks. Pick up your phone and turn it on. Figure out your goals and let it be known. Showcase these goals to us so we know where you're going, so we can feel like we're a part of what you're doing as fans. That's all we want to do, but you gotta make us feel that way. In addition to all that, make sure you download the 60-day record label below if you haven't built the foundation to your record label yet. Make sure you grab that right down below, and this is going to help you set up everything that you need to run the record label, you know what I mean, in addition to making all that content. And if you're not one that feels like reading, you can also purchase the course now, because if you feel like watching videos and it's like, yo, just walk me through this thing a lot more easier, yes, now Music Moneymakers, the course is available. I've been working on this thing for about 6-7 months now, so you can go ahead and take advantage of that right down below as well. Book a call with me. Let's develop your strategy, because I know you need one. I don't just sit here and talk music business, people. I talk strategy as well when you're ready for it. So after you get all them questions about the music business out the way, we can really design a strategy for you to win based on the location that you're in. All right? So book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com. or right down below. At the end of the day, if you change up all this stuff with your content and you move from just strictly making that musical content to really showing us who you are, where you're going, what you're trying to do, you will start to see the growth happen exponentially overnight. You give us something to follow, we'll tell everybody else. And that's all there is to it. So if you understand that, you understand the base principles, you can apply that to the type of content you make. Once again, this video was not to say, oh, you got to make content this way, you need to do that. No, the content is based on these principles, and I hope that you got a lot more clarity for the type of content that you want to make yourself personally. Music Money Makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Visit musicmoneymakeover.com, download the 60-day record label, book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com, and I'll see you next time. Peace.